Welcome back, friends, to Time Rewind TV. Today, we're going back to 1986 to revisit Stand By Me, the unforgettable story of friendship, adventure, and growing up that touched an entire generation. But nearly 40 years later, the real lives of its beloved cast have taken very different paths. Some became Hollywood stars, while others left us with heartbreaking stories we'll never forget. So get comfortable, and let's remember the cast of Stand By Me, then and now in 2026. River Phoenix was born in 1970 in Madras, Oregon. He was only 15 when he played Chris Chambers, the tough but deeply sensitive leader of four boys searching for the body of a missing teenager. Chris came from a troubled family and feared everyone had already decided what kind of person he would become. Phoenix gave Chris a maturity far beyond his age. Behind the cigarettes and confidence was a kid desperate to escape his family's reputation, and his emotional conversation with Gordy revealed just how much pain he was carrying. Phoenix became one of Hollywood's most promising young actors before tragically dying in 1993, at only 23 from an accidental drug overdose. Chris remains heartbreaking to watch today because Phoenix made him feel so alive, a boy fighting for a future that both the character and the actor deserved more time to experience. Gary Riley was born in 1963 in St. Louis, Missouri. He was 23 when he played Charlie Hogan, one of the older teenagers whose conversation about the missing boy's body is secretly overheard by Vern. Charlie's role is small, but his conversation with Billy Tessio starts the entire adventure. Once Vern realizes where the body may be, Gordy, Chris, Teddy, and Vern suddenly have a reason to leave Castle Rock behind and head into the woods. Now 63, Riley eventually stepped away from the Hollywood spotlight after appearing in several films during the 1980s. Charlie may only be a supporting character, but without the secret he helped reveal, there would have been no Journey, and no Stand By Me as audiences remember it. Corey Feldman was born in 1971 in Los Angeles, California. He was only 15 when he played Teddy Duchamp, the wildest member of the group, instantly recognizable by his glasses, unpredictable energy, and dangerous obsession with proving his courage. Teddy could be hilarious one moment and heartbreaking the next. He idolized his father despite the abuse he had suffered at home, giving Feldman some of the movie's most emotional scenes beneath all the jokes and reckless behavior. Now 55, Feldman remains one of the most recognizable child stars of the 1980s, with The Goonies and The Lost Boys among his other famous films. Teddy worked because his craziness was really armor. Behind all that noise was a damaged kid desperately trying to believe his father was still a hero. Kiefer Sutherland was born in 1966 in London, England. He was 19 when he played Ace Merrill, the cold, intimidating leader of the older gang who turns a childhood adventure into something genuinely dangerous. Sutherland didn't need exaggerated violence to make Ace frightening. His smile, confidence, and casual cruelty made it clear that he enjoyed having power over younger kids. His final confrontation with Gordy remains one of the movie's tensest moments. Now 59, Sutherland went on to become a major star through The Lost Boys and especially 24. Ace remains memorable because he felt real. He wasn't a fantasy monster waiting in the woods, he was the kind of older bully kids genuinely feared running into when no adults were around. Wil Wheaton was born in 1972 in Burbank, California. He was 14 when he played Gordy LaChance, the quiet storyteller struggling with the death of his older brother and the painful feeling that his parents barely notice him anymore. The journey forces Gordy to confront far more than a dead body. With Chris encouraging him to believe in his talent as a writer, Gordy slowly begins to understand that losing his brother doesn't mean he has to lose his own future. Now 54, Wheaton later became famous as Wesley Crusher on Star Trek: The Next Generation and remained active as a writer and performer. Gordy worked because his real journey happened inside. He went looking for a body, but came home understanding friendship, grief, and himself in a completely different way. Jerry O'Connell was born in 1974 in New York City. He was only 11 when he made his feature film debut as Vern Tessio, the nervous, lovable member of the group who accidentally discovers the information that launches their entire adventure. Vern brought much of the movie's humor. He worried about food, trains, leeches, and almost everything else, but when the boys needed him, he stayed with them. O'Connell's natural innocence made Vern feel like a real kid instead of a Hollywood version of one. Now 52, O'Connell has enjoyed a long career in film and television, including Sliders and Jerry Maguire. His transformation often surprises fans revisiting Stand By Me, but Vern remains lovable because he wasn't the toughest or bravest kid, he was simply a loyal friend who kept walking. Casey Siemaszko was born in 1961 in Chicago, Illinois. He was 25 when he played Billy Tessio, Vern's older brother and a member of Ace Merrill's gang who knows the secret location of the missing boy's body. Billy's careless conversation with Charlie is overheard by Vern, unknowingly setting the four younger boys on their journey. Later, Billy joins Ace and the gang in searching for the same discovery. Now 65, Siemaszko went on to appear in memorable productions including Back to the Future, Young Guns, and Of Mice and Men. Billy worked because his mistake created the movie's entire adventure. One conversation that wasn't supposed to be heard changed one summer forever. Bradley Gregg was born in 1966 in Hollywood, California. He was 19 when he played Richard "Eyeball" Chambers, Chris's older brother and a member of Ace Merrill's gang. Unlike Chris, Eyeball seems trapped inside the troubled reputation of the Chambers family. Gregg gave Eyeball the aggressive edge needed to show exactly what Chris feared becoming. Seeing the two brothers makes Chris's determination to escape his family's reputation much easier to understand. Now 59, Gregg later appeared in films including The Lost Boys and Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. Eyeball worked because he represented a possible future for Chris. Chris wasn't only trying to leave Castle Rock behind, he was fighting not to become another version of his own brother. Marshall Bell was born in 1942 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He was 43 when he played Mr. LaChance, Gordy's emotionally distant father, still devastated by the death of his older son Denny. Mr. LaChance's grief leaves Gordy feeling almost invisible. His obvious preference for Denny creates one of the deepest wounds Gordy carries into the journey, making Chris's belief in his writing talent even more important. Now 83, Bell built a long character acting career with memorable appearances in Total Recall, Twins, and many other productions. Mr. LaChance worked because he wasn't presented as a simple villain. He was a grieving father whose inability to see his surviving son left wounds neither of them knew how to discuss. John Cusack was born in 1966 in Evanston, Illinois. He was 20 when he played Denny LaChance, Gordy's beloved older brother whose death hangs over the entire story even though he appears only through memories. Denny was everything Gordy's father seemed to want in a son, yet he never treated Gordy like he was less important. Cusack gave him a warmth that explains why Gordy misses him so deeply. Now 60, Cusack went on to become a major Hollywood star with films including Say Anything, Grosse Pointe Blank, and High Fidelity. Denny worked because his absence was always present. Gordy wasn't only mourning his brother, he was mourning the one person at home who truly believed in him. Richard Dreyfuss was born in 1947 in Brooklyn, New York. He was 38 when he appeared as the adult Gordy, now a writer looking back on the childhood journey that changed him forever. Dreyfuss frames the story with the perspective only adulthood can provide. The adventure wasn't simply about finding Ray Brower's body. It was about remembering friends who once seemed like they would be part of your life forever. Now 78, Dreyfuss remains an Oscar-winning Hollywood legend known for Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and The Goodbye Girl. His final reflection gives Stand By Me its lasting emotional power. Sometimes the friendships we have as kids never truly come back, and that's exactly why we remember them. Frances Lee McCain was born in 1944 in York, Pennsylvania. She was 42 when she played Mrs. LaChance, Gordy's mother, a woman still overwhelmed by the loss of her older son Denny. Like her husband, Mrs. LaChance is trapped inside grief, leaving Gordy emotionally isolated when he needs his parents most. Her quiet sadness helps explain why his friendship with Chris becomes such an important source of support. Now 82, McCain is also remembered for films including Gremlins, Footloose, and Back to the Future. Mrs. Lachance worked because Stand By Me understood that grief doesn't affect only one person. Denny's death changed the entire family, and Gordy's journey became his first real step toward finding his way forward. Thanks for spending another nostalgic moment with us here at Time Rewind TV. Looking back at Stand By Me, 1986, reminds us of friendship, growing up, and memories that never truly fade. Which character or moment stayed with you the most? Share your memories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you again on Time Rewind TV.